Hey, everybody, this is TJR. Last weekend, the premiere episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier premiered on Disney Plus. And then in the aftermath, Twitter lost its mind over the fact that the Avengers don't get paid, but even more so over the fact that Tony Stark doesn't pay them. Yeah. I guess this is just what Twitter does. They kind of lose their mind over just about anything. I want to read some of these Twitter comments that I pulled off the internet. These are pretty priceless in my opinion, and then I want to talk about them. But let's check these out first here. Um, can't believe all the Avengers were unpaid interns. Tony Stark remains a villain, even in death. That's pretty harsh. Let's check out another one here. Bro, Tony Stark was the richest man on earth, and T'Challa was the king of an entire country. And you telling me they couldn't pay the Avengers a salary? No way. At least with this guy, he doesn't just blame Tony Stark, he blames T'Challa. He should be paying them too. Bro, it's always bro. Bro, Tony Stark had the Avengers in a 360 deal. LMFAOOOOO. Okay. As a musician, I can relate to this 360 deal comment. Tony gave Peter $1 billion glasses for free, but can't help Sam pay the rent. Oh, okay. Actually, Sam didn't need help paying the rent. He needed to help his sister. But we'll talk about that here in a moment. Tony Stark is a libertarian, and the Avengers weren't unionized. Of course they weren't paid. Bucky had to go to Wakanda for health care. Tony Stark was a whole ass billionaire and was paying the Avengers in Popeyes. I guess he means Popeye's chicken. And Instagram shout outs. Falcon can't even get a bank loan. Tony Stark, a real billionaire because none of his coworkers ever got paid. Well, that's one way you do it. You don't pay anybody. So, anyways, though, I realize some of these people are just joking around, of course. But if you didn't see Falcon the Winter Soldier, what happened? There was a scene where Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, is trying to help his sister get a bank loan. And the loan officer helping them asks, Sam, who pays you guys? Did Tony Stark pay you guys when he was alive? And he replies, well, no. What we're doing is goodwill. As a longtime comic book reader, it surprised me, not that the character in a TV show thinks that superheroes might get paid, but just that the general public out there at large thinks that superheroes, should get paid and that Tony Stark should be paying them. Tony Stark funds the Avengers. He does not run them. Bruce Wayne funds the Justice League, but he, doesn't run the Justice League. Being a superhero is all about altruism, doing the right thing because it's the right thing, not because there's financial remuneration for it. That's why they have day jobs. Spider-Man, he's a photographer. Superman, reporter. Daredevil, he's an attorney. Green Lantern, a pilot. And in fact, having day jobs helps add to their character. It gives them a social life. It gives them friends and coworkers that they interact with, which helps create not only character, but also helps create drama. Peter Parker trying to hold down his job at the Bugle while at the same time be Spider-Man, at the same time, maintain his relationship with his girlfriend, Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, depending on what era you were reading the comics in. And this is true of all these characters. Sometimes their work lives suffer because of their life as a superhero. In fact, to a certain extent, one of the reasons why I identified with superhero comics is this whole idea that you've got this other life. When you're a musician, you have this other life. Other people know about it. Of course, you can tell people about it. You don't keep it secret, but you do have this other life. You have your day job, you have your family life, you have your friends and your coworkers and your relationships, but you also have this life as a musician. And sometimes it can be hard to juggle all that. And sometimes the musician life can cut in on the family and friends and girlfriend life and the all of that and the work life. And sometimes that stuff interferes with the musician life. And it's a real balancing act. And I think that's something that I always felt in common with when I would read about characters like Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Clark Kent, Superman, was them having to juggle all of this, what everybody calls a normal life, with this other life. In their case, a superhero, in my case, a musician. And I have a feeling that any musician who's really worked hard at it, I mean, really hard at it, and has had to juggle all those things uh, uh, prior to crossing over to being a professional musician, can probably relate to that. And in fact, I'm sure there's a lot of professional musicians who are full-time musicians who still can relate to that, because it can be a very demanding thing, trying to be a musician, part-time, full-time, or working your way full-time. It can be a tremendously demanding thing, just like being a superhero is. So anyways, though, that's why I think one of the reasons, I never thought about it till just now, but I think that's one of the reasons why I always kind of related to that. I mean, there's other reasons too, but yeah. So I just thought it was very funny that that Twitter thought that superheroes would get paid, and even more funny that they thought that Tony Stark should be paying them just because he has the money. One other point I should bring up about that particular episode is that by the time Sam Wilson came back from the snap after everybody disappeared for 5 years, he was gone. And when he finally came back, Tony Stark died not too long after that. And I also have to say that if Tony Stark had been alive, I'm sure that he would have helped out Sam if he'd asked him. And in fact, I'm sure he would have helped out any of the Avengers if they'd asked him. Anyways, though, that's all. I just thought I'd bring that up. I just thought this was just funny and kind of weird. And like I said, I think most of these people were just joking around. I don't think you should take it too seriously. This is not like some of the more insane outrage that you read about on Twitter, but I thought this was pretty funny. Anyways, that's all. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment. And as always, if you like what I'm doing here, be sure to click like, click subscribe, smash that bell notification icon, and share on your social media. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all stay safe and healthy.